Dynalog India began its journey in 1997. We started by venturing into electronic components and educational trainer kits that shaped the careers of India's budding engineers. With our core values, we delivered mastery by becoming the pioneers of industrial computing and process automation market in India. We accepted challenges by being one of the few companies to undertake complex and demanding indigenization projects for Indian defense. We believed in being the change by entering a new and emerging product segment in the form of industrial networking, which gave us access to newer technologies and clients. We took accountability by meeting client expectations at all times, even when faced with financial challenges and economic downturn. We have been growing together as a family, where every hardworking and performing employee feels his efforts would be appreciated. Today, we are a family of 140 employees. Today, Dynalog India has established its strong credibility across diverse industries and a successful track record of serving close to 10,000 clients over 3 decades. At Dynalog India Limited, we take pride in helping our clients create value. Come, let's achieve success. Dil se.
So today we are going to talk about the digital transformation that's we call Industry 4.0. So how Moxa helped to bridge the gap between sensors and cloud via providing secure connectivity and computing solutions. So we Dynalog India Limited is almost now 30-year-old organizations and serving industrial automations and defense need in India, and we are the one of the top 3 supplier of industrial automations and networking products in India, and serving the different industries like transportations, oil and gas, marine, factory automations, railway. So since as initially mentioned that Dynalog is serving the Indian defense for almost 2 decades now in India, and each and every organizations who are into the defense, who are serving the defense applications, have to be follow some certain standards, and that's related to process and all. So that's called AS9100D certifications, which we are carrying to meet the minimum criteria of process for the defense manufacturing. And similarly, we have management certificate of ISO 9001 2008 we are following. As you mentioned, we are serving defense industries for the different applications where complete solutions go as a Dynalog brand, and also we are doing some customizations for the industrial applications too. So we have our own in-house design, manufacturing, fabrications, cable harnessing, testing, all these services we have our in-house in our head office, as well as some branches of Pune and Bangalore. We have R&D center as well as productions house are there. So the downtime is a very key part across the industry application. So all our engineers are certified and trained with the respective OEM and solutions offering which we are delivering to the industries. So we take care immediate assistance instead of downtime like RMA and all. So we have local repair centers. We are authorized the repair centers by the one of the other brand Moxa. So they have certified us to be repair the products locally in India. So here our presence across the country. Our head office is in Mumbai, followed by the branches in Ahmedabad, Pune, New Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So we have total 6 branches, and we are since we are serving the pan India, we are also national distributor of Moxa. We are catering the customers across the country, and that's the reason we have a offices in major cities in India. Also in some remote locations, we have our own distributor also where we are not present. So we are present with our partners. Thank you. Time to move to today's topic of digital transformations. So I will welcome to Mr. Sandeep Prabhakar and invite to continue this our today's webinar about digital transformations. So hand over to you, Sandeep.
If you look at what the industry is going through, right? The digital transformation of this particular industry is driving the success for enterprises in today's market. So therefore, many enterprises are investing heavily in IoT and Industry 4.0 to transform their business operations. Now, during one of the reports which came out, did you actually know that there are about 90% of enterprises which are still stuck in early stages of industrial digital transformation? If you ask the question as to why that's happening, that's because a lot of them lack the OT data which need to be connected, so that if you don't have the data, you will not be able to do further processing later. So lack of that is going to derail you at the first step itself, right? So in order to obtain a successful business intelligence, we need to collect large amounts of data, and the operational data, so-called OT data, from the equipment, controllers, or even the industrial monitoring system. So therefore, without the OT data, you cannot really do any you cannot really start any digital transformation. So if you ask, but why is it so difficult to have OT data, and you feel that it's kind of readily available at your fingertips, right? But actually that's not true. Even at the very first step, to obtain the OT data, you need to have certain equipment, and you need to have certain business intelligence. You need to collect or connect the equipment, so in order to ensure that the OT data could be collected, right? So that's one of the reasons, and most of them are still stuck in their infancy stage if you look at the gathering of the OT data. Now, are you ready to collect the OT data, right? So if the answer is yes, then connecting the OT data, you will face a lot of challenges, and some of the most common challenges that you face are typically lack of data. Data silos are there, insufficient of OT data. Then you will have unusable OT data, a lack of context. You will probably have data, but you don't know where it's coming from. And the next thing is basically huge volumes of data, which might be incomplete. There might be things which you will not be able to make use of at a later stage. And the last but not the least, the network openness. How open is your network? How secure is your network? All these things, right? So these are some of the most common challenges that everybody faces. And when you are accelerating your IT/OT convergence, right? There's always a bit of they call it an industrial digital transformation. There is a thin or a line between the IT and OT, and every day these are being blurred as we kind of talk about. Now, so therefore, what we are doing is we are bringing the technologies and the teams together to accelerate the IT/OT convergence. And at Moxa, convergence is our philosophy. So we embrace convergence of IT and OT, the edge to the cloud, and the software and the hardware. So we're extremely serious about connecting the different technologies to propel these industries further. And we are preparing for this with what we call it as future-ready networking solutions. So when I say future-ready, the three things that we look forward to in this future-ready network are visibility, security, and reliability. So these are the three key aspects for the future-ready network the digital transformation. Now, we are also investing in a lot of these technologies, be it edge computing, time-sensitive networking, smart edge connectivity, wireless. We are talking about 5G in industrial applications, Wi-Fi 5 and 6, a lot of IoT applications and technologies in these. And at the end, what you can also see is that we are heavily investing our R&D and our resources into next generation secure industrial networking. Now we'll talk about a few more, on this particular topic as we move along. We've been talking about IoT, right? So IoT brings new opportunities, of course, but there are a lot of challenges as well, right? New opportunities and challenges. Now, if you look at the left-hand side and the right-hand side, right? what you can see clearly is that the IT and OT are two different worlds altogether. The OT guys say that the IT guys just don't understand what really the factory floor is and how critical and important it is for them to understand the data. That's the OT data. Now, on the other side, the IT guys say all the devices that you guys are using in the OT side, it's all legacy proprietary systems and extremely difficult to connect to. Now, on the OT side, again, these guys say that if there is a small mistake done by the IT, it will cost us downtime, and it's going to cost us millions of rupees or dollars. Now, these guys say that, you guys leave us or the entire IT network and the OT network vulnerable to cybersecurity attacks, right? So there's always a sort of a tussle going on between IT and OT, and that's one of the main reasons is the IT does not want to understand or does not understand the OT, and the OT does not understand IT. Now, these are changing as we go along. So, if you look at it, there are different perspectives in cybersecurity between IT and OT. Now, the priority for IT is confidentiality, data integrity. The protection targets are Windows computers, servers, and the environmental condition is air condition. Now, if you look at the OT side, it's about the priority is about availability. How do we control the process? And we just cannot tolerate any downtime. What are the devices which are there? Legacy devices, PLCs, HMIs, and the atmosphere or the environment which the devices are working on is extremely harsh, right? High temperatures, vibration, shocks that Umesh was mentioning about. So you need to have devices which are having proper certification and so that they can withstand these harsh environments. Now, there's also this thing going on where the IT needs to collect the data from the OT, and they will analyze that and build intelligent applications. And OT can utilize these usable IT intelligence to optimize the operation, right? So it's more like a closed loop or a give and take, wherein the IT and OT have to work hand in glove so that they are able to get the best out of this. If you look at the industry, there are different standards. The industrial automation has a standard, the IT security system has a standard, marine automation has a standard, power has its own standard. Now, the general industrial automation has sort of we say zeroed down or narrowed down to the IEC 62443, which is recommended for the industrial control systems. Now, most of them have started to implement this in a very, very small way. And of course, it's not possible only by the end user to implement, or it's not only possible by the SI to implement the 62443 standard for companies like us. There is something called a 62443-4-1, which basically talks about the methodology or the process. And as a company, if we don't follow this 4-1 process, we will not be able to achieve the 4-2 in our product portfolio. So as a company, we have been awarded the 62443-4-1 certificate in May of 2020. It's available in public domain. If you go to the IEC website, you will be able to have a look at this. So, and the certificate confirms that Moxa has implemented something called as a secure by design methodology from the first day of the product development process, right? So it also demonstrates that we have the capability to identify and respond to vulnerabilities and work with customers to mitigate the risk. And with this 62443-4-1, we are now ready to have our product certified with 62443-4-2. And I would be proud to say that we are one of the first OT companies to have this particular certificate across the globe. So what are the challenges for IT-OT convergence? It's a growing cyber security threat. Then you have unplanned downtime. Then you have increased system complexity. So what we can do is Moxa can help you to unite the networking and cybersecurity together. We can build reliable end-to-end connectivity, and we can enhance the visibility with simple management, right? We have tools and we have the hardware and the software both in order to ensure that we can help you with these three things that I'm talking in this particular slide. There are a few more challenges that whatever we have seen, some of the top OT challenges are the operational efficiency, right? So typically what happens is the IT does not give you too many IPs. It's very difficult to get a lot of IP addresses. So the same IP architecture seems to be aggregated or duplicated in the same network. There'll be multiple devices with the same IP. Then as I talked about, insufficient public IP addresses. Then there's a network security exposure of private IP to a potential cybersecurity risk. So that's one of the reasons why we developed this particular device. It's called NAT102, which is a network address translation device. It just fits perfectly into our product family, and it's cost-effective, plug-and-play device with an easy maintenance. If you look at what is happening here in India as well, the CEA has provided a guideline in 2021, and one of the articles describes that the devices, that's the networking component and the devices, should be conforming to 62443-4 guidelines. And if you look at it, the design and manufacture of the component system should also be conforming to those particular standards. And it should be submitted by the OEM, right? So that's one of the reasons why Moxa is heavily focusing on this, and we've been developing a new product. So fitting the substations, the current existing substations with some of the gateways. Again, the keyword here is secure IoT 6950 gateways. Now, if you look at the bay level and the station level, you will need the equipment which works with the current IoT 6950 standards, and it has to be secure as well. So there are these challenges which are there, and when there is some substation owners decide to upgrade their substation, they encounter critical challenges, right? So that's where a new power SCADA implementation is required. The 61850 protocol should be compatible with that, and the power SCADA has to monitor these legacy meters, RTUs, relays, and all those things. Now, those field devices are running protocols like Modbus, DNP3, IEC 10 and 104, which is difficult to integrate the field devices to SCADA. So at the end, what I want to talk about is, as Moxa, we have the secure, reliable, industrial networking solution, whether it is industrial network infrastructure, network security, or the network management. We have the complete solution. And be it any vertical application like be it railways, factory automation, power, or oil and gas. Please feel free to reach out to us so that we can work together. So let Moxa help you to connect your OT data and start your digital journey today.
So we are open for now questions. Q&A sessions we have now. We have one questions. Do this device have inbuilt TSN?
Moxa has a portfolio of products which are TSN based, and you can go to our website and search for TSN. You will be able to get a switch portfolio called TSN 4008 series. So yeah, thanks Nathan. So that particular product has TSN inbuilt. And if you are working on any TSN applications, we need to work together, because it's just not a product like a plug and play. We need to work very close together. We work with the likes of Mitsubishi and Melco, and we have jointly developed, rather their product is developed by Moxa. The whole complete technology at the back end is developed by Moxa. So we can work with you together.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandeep. Thanks. We have questions. How you ensure data security?
As you had a look at it earlier, right? So what Moxa does is we have the series of product portfolio which is converting your serial to Ethernet. We have the devices which are 62440-4-2. Those devices are working on those guidelines, and the data, once it's in the network, is where Moxa can help you, right? And once it's a part of the network, there are networking devices like switches and our wireless access points, as well as our what you can say, the remote connect devices, which ensure that the data is secure. So if it's outside the network, of course, the data is not secure, and the security part of that particular data is left to the end user to basically look into. And once it's a part of the network, that's where Moxa's role comes into picture.
Yeah, thanks, Sandeep. So we have one more questions. How to push data in cloud like AWS or Azure from Moxa IoT device?
The answer to your question is yes, we do have that, and we can reach out to you and share the details as well.
Just to add to the point regarding the Azure certified device and all the other devices, so we do have our ThinkPro Edge software, which does support direct integrity with AWS as well as Azure. And also we have Azure specific devices which supports Azure IoT Hub and AWS Greengrass system, which can easily enable our computing and embedded platform to collect the data and easily provide it onto the AWS and Azure cloud. So we do have multiple options based on your requirement. We can provide you the required option.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, Abhay.
Thanks, Abhay. This webinar and is extremely a very nice engagement with all of you with sharing of your questions and all. And
thank you so much, Sandeep, and thank you, Umesh.
Thank you, everybody.
For more updates, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon.